On today's video, we're going to see what happens when you spool up a spinning reel incorrectly. Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. It's Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. And there's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet about how to spool up a spinning reel. And a lot of that information or misinformation has to do with the orientation of this filler spool in comparison to the spool of your spinning reel itself. Okay, because there's a few different ways you can do it, right? You can take a bolt or a pencil, put it through here, have somebody hold it, and then go ahead and reel it on like that. Or you can set it down flat like this, and you can reel it on like that. Okay, that's another way. And I did do a video about that. If you go to my channel, Knetter's Practical Outdoors, the title of the video is How to Put Line on a Spinning Reel. Okay, real creative title, right? But that video, I really get into the how and the why and the nuts and the bolts of how to put line on a spinning reel. I walk you through it from start to finish, from making sure you have enough line, to the knot, to the orientation of this spool and compared to the spool of your spinning reel. Like I say, I walk you through the whole thing start to finish. If you're interested in really getting down into the nuts and bolts of how to put line on a spinning reel, I think it's a pretty good video. So check that out if you're interested in really getting into it to that level. But for this video, all I want to do today is put line on this spinning reel, but I'm going to change up the orientation of this spool, and we're just going to see how the line reacts. Okay? And we'll go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to just start it off with the spool just flat down. Okay? This is one method. And I'm just going to start cranking it on. Okay? I pretty much just started right from scratch. Just going to start cranking it on. Okay, and we'll see how that goes. And that's looking pretty good. I really don't see any line twists starting. That seems to be working pretty good. And if you'll notice, this line is coming off of this spool in this direction, and that really is the same way this bail is spinning. Okay, so to me, this is actually the correct way to go about doing this. Okay, now I'll bring my lovely assistant over, Millie. And I'm going to have her hold this, the pencil method, right? I'll hold that. You can just kind of leave it rest there. And we're going to crank it on like this. And we're going to see what the line does with this method. Okay? All right. All right. Thank you very much. And we'll take a look at it here up close with the other camera. And there's really not too much going on there either as far as line twists. That seems to be working out pretty good too. Okay? Maybe just a little bit up here. Maybe starts to want to go a little bit, but not bad. This is very doable. Now, let's try flipping this spool over. Okay? And we'll do it this way and we'll kind of see what happens. Start spooling, spooling, spooling. Okay. And now, as you can see, we've got quite a few line twists starting. We've got one big one here. We did have one up here. And I'll kind of keep going, and I think the more you keep going, the worse it gets. Yeah, you kind of leave that loose. We've got a twist starting there. We've got one starting here. And, I think what's going to happen when I open this bail, I think the line's going to probably kind of jump right off the reel. Yeah, you see that? It really, yeah. See, now this way, you can kind of see the line doesn't really even want to stay on the spool. It kind of wants to spring off. And that's because the line was coming off of this spool the opposite direction as it was going onto this spool. And again, I really get into that much more in my other video. Again, the title of it was Putting Line on a Spinning Reel. But I did want to kind of just do this little bit of a science experiment and show you guys that, you know, when you do it, you know, when you lay the spool down flat, and if you do it correctly, I do believe that's the best way to do it. And I do believe putting the pencil through it is a decent way to do it. I don't think it's quite as good. But if you lay the spool down flat and you don't have the line coming off of this spool the same direction it's going on this one, that's the worst way you can do it. That way you're going to get just a ton of line twists and it's just going to be a big headache for you. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to do that science experiment, show you guys what happens, you know, when you do it right, when you do it wrong, and then when you kind of do it in between too. So hey guys, remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. This is Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching and God bless.